I added you, Maggie. It's okay. I added you. There you go.
Okay, could we start the meeting? I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. David, you have a flag? Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic
one nation, indivisible, with liberty.
and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to read the invocation because Philip Poole can't be here tonight. I am a Coast Guardsman. I serve the people of the United States. I will protect them.
I can't hear him now.
I will save them. I am their shield. For them, I am Semper Paratus.
Can you hear him?
I live the Coast Guard core values. I am proud to be a Coast Guardsman. We are the United States Coast Guard. We are the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary.
Amen.
All right, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Felipe.
All right, everybody. So as you know, this is a special Flotilla meeting since we're going to be conducting the Flotilla election for the vice and Flotilla commander. So welcome everybody to the Flotilla 12-6 election. Both positions will serve for 1-year term, effective January 1st, 2012. This year, all election must be conducted electronically due to COVID-19 pandemic. And yes, we're all looking forward to everything going back to normal. So every Flotilla member is contacted by email and phone call several days prior to the election to provide an opportunity to attend this online election. At this time, I will ask our FSO SR, which is John Swink, to take the roll to determine the special quorum of 20% as approved by district of the Flotilla members for this election. John?
Okay. And before I call the roll, just for clarification, since additional members are now able to vote, I should call the entire roll, not those who had responded. That's correct.
That's correct.
And what I would ask everyone to do, if you can take your phone off mute so that we can hear you, but then after I call your name, if you could then mute your phone again, just to eliminate the background noise or incorrectly recording someone.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay? Eddie Adair. Ed Boutelier.
Here.
Jonathan Bowie. John Cameron. Stuart Campbell. David DePlauz.
Yes, present.
Tom Doyle. Brenda Egan. Joe Ego.
Here.
Hayden Irvin. Nick Feliciano. Alexander Feltman. Ed Finning. John Frasanito.
Here.
Chris Gilleps.
Here.
Dawn Gilleps.
Here.
Bill Garvey.
I'm here.
Luke Georgette.
Hi.
Bob Gerber.
Here.
Ed Gearhart.
Here.
Matt Gilbert. Anne Marie Graham. Edry Graham. Philippe Grell,
Here.
Almost. For a minute, but gone again.
Brett Grooms, Craig Hammer,
Present.
Scott Heisler.
Yes. Come on.
Scott is not present, correct? Okay. Heather Hickey,
Present.
Justin Johnson, Brad Carr, Carl Knuth, Gigi Koontz,
Something's loose.
apologize.
No. It's like something's loose.
Maggie, could you put your speaker on mute because you're talking over the people calling present?
Is Gigi
Okay.
here? I apologize. Okay.
Go ahead, John.
Daryl Lee,
Here.
Deborah Lee,
Here.
Bob Lucci,
You're on mute now.
Bob Lucci,
Is not present.
Brian Mahoney,
You're not plugged in.
Christoph Masiero,
Present. I'm here.
Charles McCarthy,
Guys, present.
and Maggie is present. Alan Miles, Kathleen Pascal,
Here.
Mike Pascal,
Present.
Phil Poole, Jim Ramsey,
Here.
Jim Ramsey II, Chad Rogers,
I'm here.
Walter Ronk,
I'm here.
Alexandre Sandrin, Ruth Ann Swin, Willard Smith, Donald Sturdivant, John Swink, I'm here, Bob Thomas, Robert Thomas, Jackie Wiskerna, I believe I saw Jackie.
Yeah, I believe Jackie was here earlier.
They're currently muted.
I'm connected but muted.
Okay.
Bob, are you still here?
You're muted, Bob.
But Bob and Jackie are here, correct?
Yes.
Alexander Way, Richard Wiles, Susan White,
Here.
Mike Young,
Present.
and Philip Obie.
The Woskernias are back on, so if you want to go back, their video is back up. Here you go.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I confirm we do have a quorum present.
Okay, thank you, John. The presiding officer for this election is Philippe Grell, yours truly, as immediate past commander. The election administrator is Martin Goodwin. He is present. And the monitor is Barbara Birchfield, and she is present equally. Election monitors are appointed and shall not be candidates or relatives of candidates for the election to office in any unit whose election they are assisting. All references in the unit standing rule to a tally committee shall refer to the administrator and monitor. The polling platform that we're going to use tonight is called the Election Buddy. It will be used for this election and has been authorized by District 7. The members who attend the online meeting may vote in this election. You should have all be sent voting instruction and unique election code. Now, those unique election codes, they're only going to be used to call the monitor if you are unable to vote through internet. If you have loss of internet connectivity or a problem with your computer receiving email, you should only use those election votes. The process is you mute yourself, you turn your camera off, and you call the election hotline. I remind everybody, this is 803-240-9264. Again, this is 803-240-9264. And at that point, you will be able to cast your ballots. Do not identify yourself. You're going to use your unique election code. And again, this is only if you have issues with voting by email.
We got to call that number. You on your phone, me on my phone.
Now, we are going to have one candidate uncontested election. Such election do not require a secret ballot and may be conducted during a meeting of the flotilla when the quorum is present, which is the case. No demand for a secret ballot during this election is authorized. Only one vote is sufficient to elect the candidate that is unopposed. One member is running uncontested for the flotilla commander. This is Susan White. As presiding officer, I'm going to instruct our FSOSR, John Swing, to record one vote on behalf of the flotilla to elect Susan White to the position of flotilla vice commander for 2021. John?
So recorded.
Congratulations to Susan White. You're hereby elected. Yay, everybody. Contested election. We have two members running for flotilla commander, John Prasanito and David Desplace. To be elected, a candidate must receive a majority vote from the flotilla members present and voting, provided that a quorum is present, which is the case. There shall be no cumulative voting. A majority is one more than half of the valid votes cast. Only one vote for a candidate who has been nominated and vetted in accordance to the Auxiliary National Standard Operating Procedure and appropriate standard rules is a valid vote. An abstention, failure to vote, writing vote is not a valid vote and will not be counted. I'm going to go over the procedure if we have a tie vote in a contested election. Hopefully we won't get to this, but just so you know, if we do this 3 consecutive tie votes, the presiding officer, while in full view of the camera, utilizing the video conferencing platform, will place the name of the candidate of the ballot of the 3rd vote on separate slip of paper, holding each slip of paper up to the camera so that other participants on the conference can see the name. I will place in a container on the camera. I will blindly select one slip from the container on the camera, hold it up on the camera, read it out loud, then discard it, because that is not going to be the elected candidate. Once we have one candidate name remaining, the slip of paper that shall be held to the camera and announce the name. That person shall be the winner of the election. Let's hope that we don't get to this. Ballot status. There will be no announcement of the numbers of votes received by a candidate on any ballot. At the conclusion of an election for an office, screenshot of the tally of all ballots for each election shall be archived by the administrator and the monitor and shall be held for a period of 24 hours after the election is over. In case of election result being challenged, any unsuccessful candidate for office who wishes to challenge the result of the election shall notify the presiding officer in writing, an email is sufficient, within 24 hours of the end of the election that they are challenging the election and the reason for the challenge. The DCOS elect shall direct the presiding officer, administrator, and monitor to immediately forward their copies of the screenshot of the ballots cast during the challenge election to the director of the auxiliary by email. The director will review the screenshot of the challenge election and either confirm the previously announced results with the unsuccessful candidate or determine there was an error has occurred and direct such remedial action as the director may seem appropriate. The director is not obligated to disclose the actual vote count to the unsuccessful candidate or to any other auxiliaries. Does anybody have any question at this point before we start the election? Okay, we will now proceed to launching the election for Flotilla Commander. I will ask for all members to remain muted during the next few minutes, and the emails will be sent to you. In discussing with Barbara Birchfield this afternoon, we will allow about 15 minutes to make sure that all the emails are sent, received, and replied to. While this is happening, I will suggest that we move on with our meeting for our presentation. And in about 15 to 20 minutes from now, so we can say at 11:40, we can reconvene and we will provide you with the result of the election if every vote has been tallied at that point. Martin, you want to confirm to the members that you're currently sending the emails?
Yes, all voting members should have received an email with the voting instructions and with the unique election code. That election code is only to be used if you are unable to cast your vote using the email that you're about to receive. So I am going to launch the election, and it may take a couple of minutes before you receive the email. But when you receive the email, hopefully you've reviewed the instructions that you've received on how to vote. And it's simply by clicking a link and going to the Election Buddy platform and then making your selection for the office of Flotilla Commander. So I will be launching the election system within the next minute. So stand by to receive those. And again, if you have any problems at all casting your vote using the email that you received, you may call the number that was provided to you in your election instructions, and using your unique code only, do not give your name. Using your unique election code, you may cast your vote with the election monitor. So Philippe, I'll turn it back over to you, and I am proceeding to launch the election platform now. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. John, you want to move on to the next item on the agenda?
Okay, the next item, I'd like to John Swink to read the finance report.
Okay, sorry. Everyone should have received a copy of the report. Not a lot of activity during the month. We had receipts of $235.08. No disbursements during the month. So the net was a positive $235.08, leaving a balance of $12,925.03. And just as a reminder, the dues that we will pay from what we have already received, those dues will be due after the first of the year. So our balances will remain higher until that larger item is paid in January. Anyone have any questions on the finance report?
I make a motion, we accept.
Okay, second. All right. Has everybody read the minutes of the meeting from October?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'd like to, somebody make a motion to accept? I make a motion to accept. Anybody want a second?
I second the motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a guest tonight, guest speaker. It's Robert Koontz, CS1 Special Command Aide. He's in the culinary field. And go ahead, Robert. You have the floor.
Oh, all right. Well, appreciate y'all letting me speak tonight. I got a PowerPoint. I'll just talk a little bit first, and then I'll share it. It just kind of goes my culinary experiences since I've been a CS. So I've been in the Coast Guard total a little over 17 years. I was a prior MK in the reserves. I did that for 10 years. Came on to active duty, had to start over as a CS or as an FS back then. So I've been a cook for 6 years. I went to FSA school in Petaluma. I was there. It's a 13-week long school. I went there. I was older. I was 30 or 31 whenever I went to school, which was a big, I don't know, shock, I guess, because it was me with a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids. And then I have a family as well. I'm married, and we have 5 children together. So it was really a shock to start, seem as a later in my life to start over again. But so I will share my PowerPoint and continue talking as I go through this. All right. So like I said, I'm a Special Command Aide for District 7. So I'm the District 7 Commander, Admiral Jones. I got selected to become his Special Command Aide this past summer, and I short toured on the Coast Guard Cutter James there out of Charleston. Just a little bit, I just typed this up. Like I said, I was a 13-week school. I left there, went to the Harriet Lane as a FS. I was a Seaman FS there. I was there for 2 years. I advanced up to FS2. There we had a culinary, was a food service chief then, and then you'd have a food service first class as the galley supervisor, and then you have about 3 to 4 CS3s or FS3s then, if you were lucky. It's hard to get people onto the big cutters because you're gone 60 to 90 days at a time. On there, I actually got to experience an ox chef. He came a couple of times and cooked with me in port. As you see the pictures I have, that was my crew with our supply officer at the top right-hand corner. And then bottom left was the food stores on there. Is not a lot of room. I just wanted to share it because it's very small. So we'd always have to pull in if we were underway. We'd pull in every no more than 2 weeks, have to replenish all of our foods. See there, I started out as just a duty cook, cooking 3 meals in port, 4 meals underway, because you have your midnight rations crew for the watchstanders. So I started, like I said, I was doing that as a duty cook. Then I started to progress in advancing and became the Jack of the Dust, which is in charge of ordering all the food, making sure we had the food for the patrol, and as well as breaking it out, meaning pulling it out of the freezer a few days before the meal was due to have it thawed and make sure you had enough of the food for everybody on the boat. So that was a pretty big job. So I was on, like I said, I was on the Harriet Lane for 2 years. I left there as a culinary specialist second class. I completed everything I needed to become an independent duty food service officer. So I just went right across the pier there to the Coast Guard Cutter Seahorse. There I was in charge of everything from menu planning to shopping to preparing the food, cleaning it up, handling the budgeting, all the paperwork. So I was the food service officer on there and cooked for 11 people there. Did that, like I said, for 2 years, and then I advanced to CS1 and went to the Coast Guard Cutter James there in Charleston. There I was the galley supervisor for the first year, and then Jack of the Dust the second year. On there you have a senior chief, 2 CS1s, and then 4 to 5 CS3s, and we cook for about 150 people. And then the patrol schedule on there is much like the 270. Being on a 270, I always wanted to go back to one, but after being on a national security cutter, definitely would go back to one of those. It was probably it's one of the best cutters in the fleet, and I really enjoyed my time there. So I left there. My commanding officer on the James is Captain Randall. He actually gave me I saw the solicitation for the special command aide position opening up, and he had also got selected as chief of staff down here at D7. So he kind of nudged me and was like, "I want you to come down there with me." So I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I want to apply for it." So I applied for it, and there was three, 4 other cooks that was applying for it as well, and had to do I guess it was a FaceTime interview because we were about to go through the Panama Canal, and Admiral Jones wanted to do an interview with me. So I'd done a FaceTime interview for an hour, just getting everything, because as a special command aide, my job there is I am kind of like his, I don't want to say butler, but like I maintain the rep vac, which is a representational facility where him and his Miss Jones live at. So he'll host dinners and stuff there. So I'm in charge of making sure the house is getting clean. Any of the power, security, making sure the lawn maintenance is getting done. Also handle his uniforms, making sure I got to take him to the cleaners if he's wearing his Bravos or his whites, or I'm sorry, if he's wearing his whites, and making sure his shoes and polish stuff. Like I'm in charge of making sure all that is squared away. As this picture is actually, we had a dinner with it was a Marine and an Air Force. It was a couple of classmates he had in the academy, and everybody kind of went their separate ways. So it was a unique dinner we had a couple weeks ago. And then here's just some pictures of some stuff that I've done since I've been here. We always, for his meals, we've done like a little cocktail hour, and then I'll do 3-course meals. So that's what majority of these pictures are. The top right-hand corner was a D7 Ombudsman Appreciation little get-together that I did for the local ombudsman in the area. And then the picture in the bottom left is a breakfast. He'll get when new captains, unit commanders or whatever go to their units, he'll invite them to the district building, and I make a little breakfast for them to just kind of welcome them to the crew. I left my email and my phone number in case anybody ever wants to reach out to me. I don't know much about the Ox FS program. I know a couple of people from Virginia that helped out, and we've had a little CS synopsis up there, or symposium, where we invited them over and kind of went through everything with them as well. But I don't know what it's like in Charleston, and I haven't met any of the Ox chefs down here in Miami either as of right now. So but there's my contact information if anybody ever wants to reach out to me and ask any kind of questions or anything. But that's all I got. So any questions? Or
yeah, Rob, what does Jack of the Dust do?
So Jack of the Dust is like I said, you're in charge of ordering all the food, making sure that you have enough portions for each meal for each member, as well as, like I said, doing the breakouts. It's meaning say you have, like on the James, we had about 86 people we'd feed for a lunch. So I'd have to make sure that I had at least 86 pieces of chicken from the freezer. I pulled it out 3 or 4 days beforehand, had it thawed. So that way, that morning of, whenever I give it to the duty cook, they will take the chicken and prepare it. So like, I'm just making sure they have all the ingredients that they need. So I'm kind of like, as a Jack of the Dust, you're almost like say on a ship, you have your stores, your dry stores, and your reefer and your freezer. So the Jack of the Dust is kind of like the salesman that sells it to the galley. And then that's kind of like your job as a Jack of the Dust. You're kind of like, you just sell the stuff. So everything is on inventory. So you're keeping a track on the whole inventory as well. So once a month, you'll do an inventory of the whole inventory of whatever provisions you have on board.
Rob, is there a history to that term, where that comes from?
So yes, it is. Crap, and I'll mess it up. I know it's an old sailor term, and it was like had something to do with a guy that was in charge of the flour and had to dust the dust off, and that's how the term Jack of the Dust came from.
Okay,
but it's an old sailor term from a long time. So
very cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Petty Officer Koontz, I would one of two things. Like to be invited to your house for Thanksgiving. You can come to my house for Thanksgiving. Bring your whole family and your cooking utensils.
I have a question for you. Who decides on the overall budget, and particularly the level of, let's put it nicely, fanciness of the food to be on par with that budget?
So every ship, you're going to have a different budget. So you're getting your basic daily food allowance, your BDFA, and it is every active duty member gets that, and it's roughly, it changes every month. It's about $12.45 to $12.75 a month that you get per person. That's talking about for budgeting, right? So like you claim your people on the paperwork. So say like, I can't remember the Harriet Lane, the James, since I just left there. I had a monthly budget of like $30,000 to $40,000 to feed 150 people for the month. So you do have to kind of, it's like running a restaurant, but you're not making money. So you want to break even every month. So you have to budget of, all right, well, we're going to get some good quality steaks, and we'll have a good quality steak this week, but we might have to eat a couple of cheaper like ground beef or chicken meals Monday, Tuesday to be able to afford that steak. On an 87, you have an unlimited amount of, I mean, you have a lot of money because you only have 11 to 12 people, and you get that same amount, and usually you only cook breakfast and lunch. And an 87, you're not going out as long as the big cutters are. So you're not having to, that $12.75 a day, you're only really feeding like a breakfast and lunch, whereas on a bigger cutter, that's your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your mid-rat portions, which usually mid-rats, whenever I was on the Harriet Lane and on the James, I tried to push to the junior cooks of taking any leftovers and flip it, make it something else. So if you have skirt steak one day, well, turn around and have like steak quesadillas for dinner, or, you know, try to change it up, but use the same stuff. And that way you're not having to go into your budget in order to have a different meal.
Well,
But,
just to go on and add on to what Joe Ego just said, if you do private parties, I can give you a very nice budget.
I haven't done any. I actually got invited, Master Chief Reed, which he used to be our Reading Force Master Chief, so he was in charge of all the cooks. He's actually down here at Base Miami, and I know that he does some private gigs, and he's asked me to come and help out sometime. I just haven't had the opportunity to yet. Admiral keeps me pretty busy, so.
So on the serious side, when you're off duty, you can actually do private parties?
So yes, I can't do it in conjunction with the Coast Guard. So I have to be off duty, and I'm not, it's like the whole ethics thing. Like I can't present saying, hey, I'm a Coast Guard cook, but I can go and cook.
Yeah, you may not be hired.
When you were in Charleston, did you buy at the local supermarkets, or where do you find your food?
So on the bigger cutters, you have it's called Stores Web. So like all the government food. So like Army, Navy, Marines, they all order from this one website. So you'd order from that, which was usually in Charleston, it was US Foods. And then I had a couple of private vendors that I went through as well, which was Cheney Brothers, Performance Food Group. So it's they're vendors that sell to like your normal restaurants around town. For little onesie twosie things, I'd go to there's a US Foods chef store. It's right there. It's between Flotilla and downtown. I would go there, or Restaurant Depot, or you can just go to a regular grocery store. It just has to be tax exempt. So my credit card that I had it's a government credit card, and I can't have taxes charged on it. So most grocery stores, they know, like you come in your uniform, they know that you're the Coast Guard. So I just ask them. If they didn't know, then I would ask them, hey, I just need to make sure it's tax exempt. And then they give me a little tax exempt form that I just fill out the tax ID number on it.
So I assume that James and those kind of cutters, those are big cutters, they have big frozen lockers, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I didn't have a picture of the James because I don't know why I didn't take any pictures of it, but it was, if you walk onto the James, and that was one thing that was unique about the national security, because that's why I would hands down go to another one. Whenever I know when I gotta go to another one, and I will try to go for one of those. When you walk in from the back of the boat, everything's on the main deck. So like all your reefers on the right hand side, and you walk down the main passageway, and then the galley's on the left. So you have huge walk-in freezer, and then you have it's a freezer reefer, so it can do either or. You have to get the engineers to swap the thermostats on it, and then you have a big walk-in reefer. So on the James, I could order all the protein. I'd have all the milk and most of all the produce. So to last me for the whole patrol. So it was for 60 to 75 days. I would have everything I need besides fresh produce. So we'd pull in every 2 to 3 weeks, and I'd get new produce from whatever foreign port. For those places, I would use the husbanding agent. So the same people that we talk to that's going to get our fuel and everything for the ship, they handle all the provisions as well. So I'll just give them a list of, hey, I need lettuce, tomatoes, onions. And then of course it's not going to be the same lettuce, onions, tomatoes like we get in the US. It's all natural. So like in the US, you're going to get, onions, big softball sized onions, whereas there you're going to get, maybe a golf ball sized onion. So it's not fun for the cooks to have to prepare all that, but it's better. I say better quality. It's more natural. It doesn't have all the steroids and stuff. But like I said, on the Harry Lane, it was a nightmare. So you walk 2 decks down below, and you have a small, think of like a coat closet, maybe 3 of those deep of reefer space, and then you have to walk in there, and then the freezer's to the left, and it's just a big freezer box, probably maybe a 12 by 12 foot freezer box, and it was not fun. Like when you'd load out, it was like everything was packed in there to the door, and you're like holding it down and like shutting the door so it doesn't fall out on you when you're trying to close it. And that was not fun, because when you pull in, not every time we'd pull in, but about every other time I would have to order some foreign protein, so foreign ground beef, foreign chicken, which it's better, I guess, but it's not as pleasing to the eyes and smell, because they bring in the chicken and it's just like the clear garbage bags with just like chicken with juices hanging out, and it's like you don't want to accept it, but you have to because you got to eat, So that's one thing I hated doing it. But that was on, like I said, on the national security cutters, you got plenty of room for everything on there. So
A question for you from an auxiliary perspective. Obviously, in times of COVID, we've had to restrict a lot participation in CS. In our flotilla, we have several members that are CS qualified, and we've been deployed on cutters or some station galleys to assist. Is there anything that we can do at this stage to provide you with any assistance? And probably not. And when do you anticipate, or what will it take for us to start being involved again in the CS field?
So that one, I don't know, because it's going to be all on the CO OIC of whatever unit is. I was at Air Station Miami today, and they had an auxiliarist there. I didn't get a chance to meet him because I was setting up. I got an event tomorrow. So he was helping out the galley down here. They were short-staffed. There was only 2 cooks in there. So I guess like I said, I haven't reached out to the auxiliary staff here. But they had him coming in today, and I think he was there yesterday. As far as the COVID stuff, I honestly, I don't know. That's like I said, it's going to be the CO, the OIC of that unit. I mean, it's as long as your temperature's good and you're following protocol, you're wearing a mask, and I don't see what the big deal is, but it's going to be on their comfort level. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know that answer.
Okay, Robert, this is John Fresanito, the Flotilla Commander. I want to thank you very much. We can't wait to get into, I'm food service qualified also. I normally cook in Station Georgetown. I've cooked on the Willow while it's in port, and at the No Wait Club in the back of Flexi for a change of command. And we'll wait until we get the okay. Currently, we have to fill out COVID forms, and unfortunately, I fall into the area where I'm 69 years old, so I'm in the high risk group. But there's nothing more that I love than cooking. So we'll wait and we'll see what transpires. So I want to thank you for speaking. You're really great. We learned a lot of things about it. We try to make the flotilla meetings interesting, as we really can't go out and touch anything right now. We're told to stand down, but we love to hear from the Coast Guard and what the different jobs entails. So thank you for speaking at our meeting.
Yes, sir. And like I said, if y'all have any questions or comments, or just if you have Instagram, I'm not a big techie guy, but if you have Instagram, I'm on there as well. CG Chef 84. I post a lot of pictures from my events on there, as well on Facebook too. And it's just my name. I think I'm the only Rob Koontz on Facebook. There might be a couple others, but it's a pretty unique name. So, but I share all my pictures and stuff. I do the events. I try to build a profile out there to just show off my work that I do. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I went from being a machinery technician to a cook, and I thought I want to be a machinery technician coming back into the cook life. And I was like, no, I like this. It's a good gig. So.
Thank you much. And I expect you'll have a really good Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't do too bad.
Thank you.
I got a wife. She enjoys cooking too, so I try not to crowd over her as much either, because I'm a big critiquer, and I try not to critique her too much. So I try to cook one or two things and let her handle the rest.
Sounds like a 2-turkey Thanksgiving to me. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Petty Officer.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay, going with the rest of the meeting. I'm not sure if anybody has any reports, but I'm gonna send the meeting over to Mike.
Actually, John, if you don't mind me interrupting, I was looking at the time, and the allotted time for the voting has passed. I have heard from the election committee, and the monitor has confirmed to me that the votes have been cast, and I'm happy to let you know that we do not have a tie. So we do have a successful election. The Flotilla Commander-elect for 2021 will be David Desplas. Congratulations, David. Thank you, John, for the year that you spent at the Flotilla Commander this year. As immediate past Flotilla Commander, in 2 months from now, I will no longer be immediate past Flotilla Commander, but I will be always happy to assist anyone who needs any guidance. Congratulations again, David.
All right, welcome, David. I'm there to support you. I'll be the immediate past Flotilla Commander for the next 2 years. Felipe is off now, and I'll support you in every way I can. Anyway, let's
Look forward to working with everybody. We're
Okay.
gonna move it up and have continue to be a striving and a very exciting time for all, even within the COVID environment. So thank you, everyone. And congratulations also to Susan, and certainly to John. Thank you for what you will continue to do until I guess the 31st of December for sure.
Okay, looking forward to working with you, David. Okay. Congratulations once again. Okay.
I also want to extend my thanks on behalf of the flotilla to the election committee, and particularly the election administrator, Mike, as well as the monitor, Barbara, for their assistance, and particularly district for setting up the electronic process to allow us to vote virtually during this challenging time. So thank you again for everybody who has been involved in tallying the count and participating in the logistic of this election.
Okay. Mike?
Okay, let me move quickly through. I'm not sure that there's really much to report on, but I'll just go first with member training. Susan? You're on mute, Susan, if you're.
I know, I'm sorry. I was at the other end of the screen. We're trying to get back as far, starting with TCO. We've had a few issues going on, and I think honestly, we probably won't do much of a push until, of course, after Thanksgiving. But we have David and Kathy who are going to be joining our TCO candidates. And we're going to, I believe, David, haven't you done some submissions as far as TCO goes?
No, the paperwork is still standing.
Okay, I will hope to be catching up to you with my 4 people in the near future.
Okay, let me just ask a question then. Who is basically, I've got about 3 candidates as well. What should I be doing?
I think we have 11 people, but I think what we're looking at doing them in batches. My understanding, Mike, is that you had completed the actual activities, therefore you had all of them. So we were held up with only 1 TCO, which was Luke, which finally cleared. So if we suddenly decided to submit all 11 of our candidates that have been working to complete. So I think we ought to be thinking about, doing 3 or, to just complete it. So I thought you were working on submitting yours digitally and then waiting to find those out. And then Susan was the next batch because she's finished those.
No, I have not finished them, David. I still have a few things to do. So if Mike will submit his, and then you can go ahead with yours, and then I'll pick up the last batch. That works for me if it works for everybody else.
I'm pretty much ready to go.
Okay, and David, what do I do? Mail you the paperwork or?
No, you submit a ticket. You submit to not ticket the district communications officer. You are the mentor. So I'm not the training officer. So I just want to make sure I'm only a mentor working to get there.
I'm just asking somebody to tell me how to basically do it. So I submit a ticket.
Let's do this offline, Mike, because
okay.
Walter is the one that knows the process because he knows how it was held back.
Okay.
We'll get up with Walter after the meeting. Maybe we can send out a note.
I'll stay on the line
So
for
we've
anybody
got-
that wants to talk it out.
Okay, thanks. That's it for me right now, honestly.
Okay. Anything to report on HR? Don?
Negative. There is nothing going on. We've had complete silence,
Okay.
unless Walter has something.
Nothing here.
Okay, Bob, you want to go next? Let's see, where's Bob? Young Bob.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. you can.
Okay. No VEs, but in October we had 48 visits, program visits. But that's it, but at least it's something.
Okay. All right, thanks, Bob. Public Affairs, Bill?
Sorry, I was muted. It's, as everyone knows, it's been very quiet. I did some things about Auxerre for the newsletter, but can I put out an appeal? I have no idea. I'm the public affairs person, but I have no idea what our affairs are. No one, I'm not sure how to get this information. So we've had 48 program visits from Bob and his crew. I didn't know that. Could everyone who's, I don't know how to say this, but please put me on your radar and let me know what you're doing, because I can't promote things if I don't know about them. So I'd really like to get the word out about what we're doing. And I really don't know what we're doing. Anyway, we continue despite COVID. We continue, as best we can. And I'd like to let people know that. So if you could inform me about what's going on, that would be very helpful. Okay?
Okay, Bill, thanks. And finally, Luke, Ops.
Wish I had something to report, but then again, now you guys know we are shut down. There's nothing going on, zero. I mean, it's the backbone of the flotilla is the operations, and we're not doing anything. We haven't done anything since June 26th. It's unfortunate. I am in contact with the lieutenant at the air station, Savannah, and they are still asking. He keeps on asking me when are we going to go on and be able to offer the patrols for the helicopter ops, but there's nothing going on. I mean, we are status quo. No one knows when that situation will be resolved. So sorry, it's just
Okay.
frustrating.
Yeah, that's
Like,
to be expected.
so that's all. I got nothing.
Okay, Luke, thanks. Okay, that's it. John, back to you.
Last but not least, FSOIS needs to put in a word.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
we're
Yes.
getting close to finishing the year. And this is important that you put in the hours, even if it's hours doing some self-study or attending to a meeting like this one. Please tackle Ox data. If you're having issues, I am always available by email or by phone. I will be sending to everybody a updated manual. As you know, Ox data is in its infancy and go through various avatar. You log in a month later and buttons have changed and a few things have evolved. So I have updated the training manual, or it's a big word for it, but the reference that I have put together with the latest screen. So if you notice something, another elusive button that has migrated somewhere else, do let me know. But it should, if you follow step by step, and Craig Hammer was my latest person to try live today, you should be able to key in fairly straightforwardly the 99 hours, as well as the other codes from the 70-30. Again, there's a few more fields to fill in, but if you have any questions, please do let me know. As a last resort, you're welcome to send me a few hours for specific activities that you may have some issues with. But it's very important that we log in as many hours as we can, and this by the end of the year.
Felipe, how many members are actually not putting in their hours out of the whole flotilla?
Let me answer by saying there's about 10% of the members that are putting their hours. I would like to see that number climb to 50%. That would represent maybe more than the truly active people. But everybody in this meeting tonight should at least submit 2 hours. We're actually in 1 hour so far for this meeting tonight, as a 99A if you're an FSO, or as a 99E. That will, even if it's only a few hours, it will show the number of active people in our flotilla. If you are active, but you do not put in your hours, the system does not know, the division and the district is unable to account for your participation.
Okay, thanks, Philippe.
Okay, is there any old business that we would like to discuss? I think we already did. We mentioned about TCO. That's old business. Anything, any ideas? Anybody have comments of things we should have done during the year, or things you want to see happen next year?
I want my ops to be able to go on and go back to where they were. That's what I want. I got 3 freaking boats. I can't do anything. It's ridiculous.
There's no real news from the front. It's just that it's going to mirror that until the, I guess, all the vaccinations go out and they see real results. And that might take most of the year. So be prepared for that.
It has nothing to do with the operations. It has to do with the fact that we have boats and we have coxswains and we have crews that can go on there, but the chain of command has done absolutely nothing to resolve our situation, as far as I know. And that's ridiculous. That's beyond COVID-19.
Well, we think about your safety.
Again, John, we have done patrols during COVID-19, and we took all the precaution to go on, and use the protocol of that. That's not the issue. The issue is that we are shut down for something that we do not have any control over, and that's crazy.
Well,
I think John, look, what Luke is talking about is the is the current status with loss of coxswains due to an investigation. It's not the COVID. We actually have the ability to put patrols, but that no owner right now is willing to put his or her, or in this case, we only have his, and we have no coxswains in our unit. So we have people currently who are on hold since June of an event. And so maybe Rick, you're at the district level, or the division level, to see what can be done through the chain of management to communicate up what could be the next step. When would a resolution? So right now we have 2 coxswains who are currently have had their qualification put on hold.
Well, perhaps I'll train next year to be coxswain. I can become a 3rd coxswain. Maybe that will help out.
Rick, do you want to talk to this?
Sure, David. First, I was just thinking of this, Mr. Koontz, I think that he did a great presentation. I'd like to thank him for participating. Susan, David, congratulations on the election. John, thank you for serving during this difficult year. And David, concerning the incident, I will share with John Holmes that we need some information, some feedback, and something that'll get us moving forward again with your group. I'll follow up with him on that.
Thank you.
Yep, sure thing.
All right, so I guess we can move on to new business. I just want to say that while we can't go out on boats, and there's going to be a number of us that are that have to be retested as crew, and I guess I don't know if coxswain falls into that, but as crew. When I was in the 1st Southern, I recorded training on videos. So maybe we can run a training film that people could watch to sort of refresh their memory, because we can't get out and to have hands-on experience. So I have several videos that I could place as rear toes, side toes, man overboard, that sort of thing. And I'm sure that maybe there's somebody else out there that has similar videos that we could put out there, either training or whatever, just to keep everybody in the game for when they allow us to go out there. But I think the primary thing that we have to make sure, we have to train everybody to be able to put their hours in, because the lack of hours is going to really hurt us. And Dr. Philip Poole volunteers his time. He walked me through it. It took me 3 tries before I got it right. And I'd be happy to walk anybody else through it. I had thought of making screenshots, actual screenshots off of my walks data, if that could assist somebody in learning how to put their hours in. That's what I see right now, is that everybody's got to get their time in. So far, I disenrolled 3 members, and I have maybe 2 more that might be disenrolled also. Apparently, they moved, and I have no forwarding address. So I might go through the help desk and see what can be done about that, because I don't want us to get stuck with the loss of revenue next year. And that's about it. If anybody has anything else they'd like to speak about.
John, who are the members that we're trying to find addresses on?
Doyle, and I have to look what the other person is.
I can get hold of Tom Doyle. I don't know if he wants to stay.
Mahoney, Brian Mahoney is the other one.
Okay.
So other than that, everybody's paid dues for this year, for next year?
Repeat that again, Joe?
I said, so other than that, everybody has paid their dues for next year?
Yes. There's one member, and it's Gigi Koontz. she's out of the country, but she's going to be very much, and she's unable to pay for wherever she is, but she's going to pay us in September. So we'll get the money anyway. But other than that, everybody's paid up.
John,
That's pretty good. I mean, that's better than good. That's everybody. You had to disenroll two to be found out, one for later. That's a very good percentage.
John, Tom Doyle had replied by email that he did not intend to renew. And I think I had forwarded that email to you, but he had responded by email, so we can, we should be able to follow up and get a email or a hard.
The only thing is I don't have paperwork for him stating that he had an ID card or he didn't have an ID card. He has to sign the 7035 form, and that second form that I sent him to state that he had not received an ID card. And if he did, he has to return it. And then I have to destroy it and sign off on it that I destroyed it. But I'm not getting all this paperwork that I'm supposed to get. And I don't know if the help desk will clear it if I say I sent it out. I mean, I have a document that says I sent it, return receipt requested. And it came back to me. It was refused. So
have we tried to send this form by email to him? Maybe he can fill it out by email and scan it back.
I sent it via U.S. mail.
No, I'm talking email because that's probably the easiest way to reach him. He can reply with an email scanning that self-disenrollment form.
Okay, but that was the new procedure by the DSO HR that I have to do it in that procedure. Some members that got it like that and then paid up, they were angry that they received it like that. But I said, it's beyond my control. That's the new procedure. I took that class from the DSO HR, Angela Pampero from Miami, and that's the way she said it has to be done. I'm sorry that if people took it the wrong way, but you know, I have to follow the procedure because of the what I had said earlier in the year that stolen or used ID cards were showing up on the internet, and they were going for $4,000 and $5,000 a piece, and it was allowing people entry into military facilities that unauthorized. So they said if I didn't send out the return receipt requested certified letter, and I had that document, and somehow that ID card showed up somewhere as trying to gain an illegal entry, it would be on me. So I just followed the procedure. But I have to have something in writing that they either, like I said, they either didn't receive an ID card or they have one and they're going to turn it in. So until I get that, I can't do anything. But it has to be in before the 15th of December. Otherwise, we're going to get charged for 2 people. I know Walter reached out to Brian Mahoney, but I never got a reply. So I don't know what else to do. Rick, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just had to unmute myself. From what I understand, if you have documentation that you sent the certified letter, even if it's to the old address that they're no longer at, as long as you have that documentation, we can send in the 7035 and we'll give it a shot. Just, you know, we have proof that we sent a certified letter. I think that's sufficient. In terms of the ID card, you know, if they don't respond to the certified letter, that's not your responsibility. I wouldn't be worried about the ID card.
All right, then I'll give it a shot tomorrow. I'll send it to the head.
Okay.
Hey, John, this Vito, as long as you send out a second certified letter, it comes back, you attach that to your 7035 and send it in. And that way you get rid of it. As long as you have 2 shots at it, though. It has to be 2 certified.
Okay, I'll take care of that tomorrow. All right, then, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second,
Second?
yep.
Hey, Walter, before, I'm sorry, Walter, you want to talk about the blood drive?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. So we had some folks go to the blood drive. I guess that was October over at the Blood Connection on Remount by the airport. And we've been able to confirm with them that they can support this as a recurring event. For whole blood donors, you are allowed to donate every 56 days, which is 8 weeks. So 8 weeks from our initial drive would have been right on Thanksgiving Day. So we moved it back a week, and you'll be seeing some traffic inviting you to a blood drive on December the 3rd, that is Thursday. We're looking to do this around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and then if anybody wants to hang around and go out to grab a lunch together somewhere, we're going to do that. I think this month we might have an opportunity to combine that with some Marine Corps Toy for Tots collection. I've got a pile of stuff here I'm going to try and give away, and I think I need a Marine to help me figure out how to make this happen. We've got a couple on the flotilla, so we'll ask them for some guidance and be watching your email. But if you are a donor and you're eligible by the 3rd of December, we're going to make this, excuse me, an every other month flotilla event. The Blood Connection folks have been very helpful and supportive to us, and it's quick. They're generally not all that busy. I've had long waits with the Red Cross in the past, but this place is basically in and out. So, and if you are a donor, there's all donations are tested for COVID, so you might not find a nice little surprise like you've already got the antibodies, even if you never got sick, and maybe breathe a little bit easier knowing that that you got some good stuff going on in your blood. So watch for some stuff. John, with your permission, I'll use the Flotilla account to send out the invites for that.
No,
unless there's any questions, that's all I got.
All
Walter?
right, great.
Wait, I got an email today from the Blood Connection telling me that I was eligible to give blood again, and I think I gave mine the week after you guys. Maybe it was the same day. Anyway, people who filled out the paperwork should be getting an email telling them when they are capable of giving again.
Yeah, they're pretty good on the follow-up stuff. I've been in there 4 times now, and they're good at letting you know when you're eligible, and the stuff goes off wherever it goes and maybe saves a life. So if we're not out on the water, there's other ways to help people out. I encourage you all, even if you're not a routine donor, to at least give it a try once. And if you can't donate, still come on down and we'll grab a lunch together somewhere.
So Walter, when we go, are we in uniform or what?
I think that's appropriate. I think we look good when we were down there. I know I look good, so. Yeah, I mean, it's part of spreading the message. People see you out in public in uniform, you're doing something good, and maybe they ask a question that you can help them with, or maybe they get interested in what we do and they want to join. Who knows?
And if you talk to anybody about the flotilla, you get to declare these hours as PA through Aux data. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There actually is a code for public affairs, so it's part of the recruitment and being an advocate for the activity and the flotilla and the Coast Guard at large.
And that code was what?
I will mention it in the email that I send tomorrow, since I expect everybody to put in some hours for tonight.
Very well. And
Yeah, they'll be right there.
and that uniform would be summer blue?
We were in TROPS the last time. I think ODU would also be appropriate.
Okay.
Not everybody's got the TROPS, so if you want to wear the ribbons and parade around, you can do that. If you want to just go blue, you can do that.
So I was wondering why you looked a little peaked there when blood 4 times. You know, you gotta like give some of that plasma back in your blood.
Well, it actually not too rough, not too rough. I've never done the plasma stuff before, but it's not bad.
Very well.
He mostly like it for the donut that he gets afterwards.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where I can sell this stuff on the street, see if I can get a better price for it.
There you go.
All right, then, the next meeting is December 17th. Have a great Thanksgiving and be safe.
Thank you.
All right,
You
good
too,
night,
John.
everybody.
Thank you.
Meeting's adjourned.
I'm
Thank
going to
you,
stay
John.
online for whatever it was you guys wanted to talk about.
Thank you, John, for your good work.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, Walter, let's go. Can we review the procedure for submitting the TCO once all the paperwork is completed?
I sent it to the chief of staff and they didn't do it. I don't think that's how we're supposed to do it going forward, though. I'll take a note to follow up, and then do we have any complete packages? I doubt it, right?
Mike might have some. I don't have any.
Well, it's been months since I've looked at this stuff, and it does look like there are a few gaps, so I'm gonna have to go back over that. But Walter, I had a quick question. This stays with the Flotilla member? This package here?
Yeah, when it's all signed off, we'll scan. I think you only scan the last couple of pages that have the signatures on it.
That is
Okay.
correct.
That gets submitted and the original goes back to the member.
Okay. Anyway, I gotta look and see if I really am as complete as I thought I was.
Yeah, were we trying to complete, you're a mentor on this, Mike, right?
Mentor, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm not sure